Okay, so now I'm going to talk you through troubleshooting a Phonak Roger Inspiro. This is a personal FM system. If you want a video or to watch the video on how to use this FM system and how to get it connected to a student, that's a different video, and it should be linked in the same group that this video is. When you start out troubleshooting, the first thing that you want to do is have the whole FM system available for troubleshooting, especially if the student reports that it's not working. So you want the student's personal hearing aid, the type of receiver they're using, which in this case I have a neck loop, and then the teacher transmitter, which in this case is the Roger Inspiro. First things first is to inspect all parts, including the neck loop and the hearing aid, to make sure that there's nothing like debris on the hearing aid. Sometimes in the student's ear mold you'll see wax or debris, especially down in the part that goes into the ear. And then check to make sure that there is a battery in the hearing aid or that the battery is fresh. And make sure that, of course, the student is in the correct program. When you're inspecting the body of the Inspiro particularly, it's important to look at this wire, which is attached to the microphone, because this wire is highly susceptible to things like little breaks. Because this microphone wire also works as an antenna, any kind of kinks or bends or tears in the wire will cause the transmission to be intermittent. It's also important to check that the two microphones here are free from debris because they're nice and out in the open. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of dirt gets caught in the microphones and that can affect the sound. One of the most common issues that we see with the Roger Inspiro is that the teacher or person who is using the device is charging it with the device in the on position. So as an example here, I have my micro USB charger plugged in. If this device is turned on, what you're going to notice is that it really doesn't charge, and the teacher will notice that they get less and less battery life as the days go on until eventually the transmitter will not turn on at all. So it's important that when it's charging that you make sure that the slider at the top is in the off position. This also applies to the Roger neck loop. This must be turned off as you see here. So there's on, there's off, in order for it to charge. Sometimes when you turn on the Roger device, you will get an error. So either if I turn it on now, there you see that green paint in the load screen. Sometimes it will get stuck in the loading screen, and sometimes you will see some kind of strange message. To perform a hard reset on the device, you simply press the left dash button at the same time that you press this bottom arrow, and then press the right dash button and the OK button. And you want to press all four of these at the same time and hold for about 5 seconds. When we lift, the device should restart. There you see that loading screen. And that will be a hard reset. There's one error, well, not really an error. It's a mode that gets turned on accidentally that we have been seeing as of late. And that is an error where the screen will say waiting for primary. And what's happening is that this has somehow been activated into a mode where there is like a two-teacher situation or a two-transmitter situation. And we don't really use that mode at Columbia Regional Program. So to get out of it, you press this down button, and then you select network by clicking OK. And then what you want to do is you want to scroll to create new net, right there. Click OK, and it'll ask you if you want to create a new network, and you will say, yes, I do. New network created, please connect devices. All you have to make sure that you do after you clear the waiting for primary error is to make sure that this transmitter gets reconnected to the student receiver. Now, for a form of kind of advanced troubleshooting, this is absolutely not something that you have to do, but it is a tool you can have in your toolbox. You can remove this belt clip at the back by pressing this lever at the top and sliding it down, and checking to make sure that this microphone is plugged in where it's supposed to be. So this peg here actually unscrews. And if I do that, you can see the insides of the transmitter here. And you can check to make sure that this microphone is thoroughly plugged in. So that concludes the video on troubleshooting the Roger Inspiro. If you go through this process and none of it works, that's okay. Just bring the transmitters back to audiology and we will either give you a new one or repair the one that you have.